everyone. Today, we're going to talk about technology in the constructivist in learning environment. So I am with my partner to share with you about or discuss with you about this topic. So I am Angela Maravilla and my partner Rhea May Hole. So let's start our discussion. So technology in the constructivist in learning environment. So I have questions for you. So when do we say that an environment is a learning environment? So as we go through to our discussion for today, we're gonna learn how we can say that environment is a learning environment using a technology. So, learning environment refers to the diverse physical location, context, and culture in which students learn, since students may learn in a wide variety of settings. So as we can say that learning environment, it is a location where students learn. It is their safe place to learn. And also, as a teacher, you must ensure that your environment is a safe place for your students to learn. Okay, so next is, according to Bills 2015, in the fact that choice and importance of components in designing a learning environment depend considerably on one's personal beliefs and understanding of knowledge, learning, and teaching method. So, as we all know, students have different capabilities, and also students have different style on acquiring a knowledge. So as a teacher, you must improve your teaching skills by assessing your students' needs. And with the help of technology, I can assure you, or we can assure you that our environment is a safe place for us students to learn. So, in what way? So, if you say constructivism, it emphasizes that learner construct knowledge through experience and interaction, which is it's simply about questioning, investigating autonomy and personal experiences of knowledge. Technology allows for investigating exploration, and soft technology helps children to be more collaborative, allow them to learn at their own pace. So it means that using the technology, you can achieve you can achieve a learning environment that is safe place for a student. Using technology, you can improve a constructivism kind of learning environment. There are so many kinds of technology or some apps that can help you to have instructional materials that allows you to engage with your students, like Quizlets, like Pizza Frenzy, and many more. So, using those apps, you can have a active participation with your students, and there is engaging within the student and teacher, which we can say it is a constructivism. Next, using technology to support constructivist learning, such as iEarn and Oracle ThinkQuest, provides authentic learning experiences for children. They work on projects that are based on issues which are relevant to everyone from around the world that participate. This enables children to experience with different situations, either individually or in group. So, using this iEarn, it is one of the examples that you can use, or the student can use, which is they can have a collaborative participation with other people, not only their classmates, but also from the other countries, people from the other countries, where they can share their perspectives, and also they can share their learnings and etc. Next is, learning is an active process. It requires learners to be engaged in learning activities that will enable them to construct their own knowledge and understanding. So learning is an active process, which means that there are engagement towards the teachers and the students through activities, or it's either students to students through activities. dili siya sapat nga only hands-on activities or hands-on experiences lang ang atong ihatag sa atong students. But we must have an mind and also hands-on experience. Like for example, technology. By the use of technology, their minds, ilang minds galihong as also sa ilang samkamot. Like sila mismo by their own experiences makapon sila. So so ano siya gipasabot ni doing a reflected activity like sila mismo nag hands-on nga wala nag hands-on sila or like nagtuhan sila ana makapon sila, like for example dissecting crab. There are technology that you can use that you can use dissecting frog. Like while nagbuhat ka or while nag-dissect ka sa frog, you gain learning. So it means while your hands-on experiences or while you doing it, you gain knowledge from it. So that is my part. So please, Miss Rhea May Gilig, the floor is yours.
So, hello everyone. Once again, I am Rhea Mahilig. So, to continue, let's make next slide please. So, learning involve language. So, research studies have emphasized the influence of language in learning, particularly the role of talk in the classroom. Some people even talk to themselves while learning. So, the research emphasizes the importance of language in learning process. So, like in the educational setting, so while you are talking and using those language, this may help the students to process and understand those information. So for example, sa classroom discussion, the teacher allow their students to share their thoughts, their insights, and also to ask questions and hear different viewpoints from their classmates para maka-deepen understand sila sa lain-lain nga mga thoughts gikan sa iyang mga classmates or sa iyang kagalingon. Next, we have learning is a social activity. Learning is a highly associated with a degree of connection and interaction we make other human beings, our teacher, peers, and with our family and others. Through dialogues and conversation with others makes us learn. So, in learning is deeply connected sa social interaction. So, we learn not just from reading books, not just kanang hearing mga information, but also to interact with other people, chatting with others, like that. So, teachers provide guidance to peers, offer support and different perspective, and also sa family. So, for example, kanang kuntahay ang teacher kay mohatag og kanang group project. So in that way, their students will have a kanang collaboration with their classmates and share their ideas, thoughts with each others. So next we have next slide please. The learning is contextual. So we don't not learn isolated facts and theories, but rather we learn in relationship to other things that we know. What we believe are prejudice and our fears. We cannot separate our learnings from our lives. So our learning is influenced by the context in which we live and our previous experiences. So we don't learn isolated facts, but integrate new information with what we already know. So for instance, learning about a historical event is easier if we can relate it to the contemporary issues. So, or to other historical events we're familiar with. So our belief, values, and emotion also affect how we perceive and process new information. So next, we have knowledge is needed in order to learn. So yes, our knowledge is very important para kanang maka-learn jud ta. So new learning builds on existing knowledge. So without a foundation of our prior knowledge, so it's very difficult to understand and integrate new information. So for example to learn for example kanang kuan ka ganang sa biology, before ka moadto sa kanang mga hard, mga difficult bitaw nga mga terms dapat dapat makabaw, dapat from your previous nga mga naagian is nakatuna na nimo ang mga basics na mga terms before ka mo adto sa difficult nga mga terms. So that is kanang knowledge needed in order to learn. So next, learning is not instantaneous. So it takes time. In learning, we usually recall ideas, reflect, and try on them, and eventually use them. And when we ponder on this cluster, the thoughts and ideas, we are actually engaging in meaning picking, and therefore this takes time, bit of a body. So learning is not a quick process, no. So by learning, we need to take time. There are a lot of process para maka-gain tag knowledge. So it involves several stages. So first, encourage new information, and then reflect on it. So di ba, first step jud ana to have your own knowledge is to learn is to gain more information, and then after that you will reflect it, and then you practice, and finally integrating it into one knowledge base. So next, okay, motivation is a key component in learning. So in any act of learning, motivation plays a crucial role. Teachers understand that the source of motivation may be intrinsic or extrinsic. Motivation here include an understanding of way in which the new knowledge may be used. So motivation significantly influences how effective we learn. So intrinsic motivation comes from within, sa atuan na sa kagalingon nga motivation. So it's either nga kanang interest kay kaana nga subject or dili. And while extrinsic, so motivation comes from the outside reward, so like grades or praise. So next, so here we have table the difference between the traditional classroom and the constructivist classroom. So when we say traditional classroom, so here the curriculum begins with the part of the whole, emphasizes basic skills. Strict adherence in fixed curriculum is highly valued. Learning is based on repetition. The teachers disseminate information to learners, and learners are recipient of knowledge. And teachers' rules is to directive, root, and authority. Assessment is thought, testing, correct answer, and knowledge is seen as inert. And learner work primarily alone. So in simple terms, no, in traditional classroom, here are the students are passive learners. So the students here are just receiving information from the teachers. And when we say constructivist classroom, the curriculum emphasizes big concept, beginning with the whole and expanding to include the parts. So pursuit of learners' question and interest in value is valued. Learning is interactive, building on what the learners already know. Teacher have a dialogue with learners, helping learners construct with their own knowledge. Teacher roles is interactive, root, and negotiation. Assessment include learners' work, observation, and point of view, as well as text. Process is important as product. Knowledge is seen as a dynamic, even changing with our experiences, and learners work primarily group. So here, constructivist classroom, as you can as what I have said, no nga kanang interactive ni siya diri nga pag-learn. So here, students are not just a passive learner, but active sila. So they are not just absorbing the information from the teacher, but they also give their own insights, their ideas, para basta ka na interactive ilahang quandary. And next, we have, next slide please. So technology is constructivist learning environment. So the use of technology in the learning environment has been highly associated with the application of constructivist learning principles. So today's instructional technologies have features, capabilities to support learning. So when we talk about the usage of technology, in a classroom, so we often think about how it can help students to learn. So one popular way jud no in teaching is the constructivist so siya. So this approach say that the students learn best when they actively build their own understanding of a subject. So instead of just kanang receiving information lang, so they have use their critical thinking to share their ideas and whatsoever. So when we use technology in this kind of learning environment, it's because today's tech tools have special features that support this active process. So for example, they might allow students to explore concept in their own, to collaborate with others in their classmates, silang peers, and or to create a project to demonstrate that what they have learned. So next. So here we have the some instructional design strategies. So first we have exploration. So here the teacher let learners to discover new things on their own. And next, experimentation. So here the teacher allows learners to try things out and learn from their experiences. And construction. So here teachers encourage the learners to build their own understanding of a topic. And collaboration, from the word collab, getting the learners to work together with their classmates or other people. And lastly, the reflection. So here teachers give learners time to think about what they have learned and how they can improve. So next slide. So these technologies, promote cooperation by limiting the kinds of contribution that students can make, or encouraging connection between those contribution and directing requests from the students. So that would be all. That ends our topic. Thank you for listening.